Burkina Faso has just made a move that's got a lot of people talking for good reason. Imagine this. After facing a hefty 50% tariff imposed by the US on its shea exports, the country's leader Traoré has turned the tables by signing an eye-popping $2.1 billion deal with China. This is not just another international agreement. It's a bold, strategic pivot that could reshape the economic landscape for Burkina Faso and possibly even the broader region. Now, if you think about the journey up to this point, it hasn't been easy. Burkina Faso, like many African nations, has been navigating a complex web of challenges, from economic pressures and global trade tensions to the everyday struggles of its people. The shea industry, in particular, has been a vital lifeline, especially for women who rely on it for their livelihood. Then came the blow from the USA 50% tariff, that threatened to choke off a significant revenue stream. But instead of folding under pressure, Traoré saw an opportunity to flip the script. And China stepped into the picture with a deal that not only counters the US tariff, but also signals a deeper partnership. We're talking about a deal worth over $2 billion, a massive injection of resources, investment, and hope. What does this mean for Burkina Faso? It means potential modernization, infrastructure development, and a chance to boost exports beyond shea nuts. It's fascinating to see how global geopolitics plays out in real places with real people. We often hear numbers and deals on the news and lose sight of what's really at stake here. Behind the headlines, there are bustling markets. Women harvesting shea nuts in the hot sun, families hoping for a better future, and a nation striving to rise above external challenges. For many, this deal isn't just about economics. It's a symbol of resilience and a beacon of possibility. You might wonder, why China? Over the past decade, China has been steadily increasing its presence in Africa, just as a trade partner, but as a major investor and builder of infrastructure. Unlike some Western countries that have often come with conditions tied to aid or investments, China's approach tends to focus on mutual economic benefit and large-scale projects. For Burkina Faso, this means roads, factories, technology hubs, and perhaps even enhanced trade routes that could link them to new global markets. There's also an emotional layer here. Imagine the hope that this agreement brings to local entrepreneurs who have long struggled to break into global supply chains, or the pride felt by farmers knowing their raw materials can now reach more markets without being smothered by tariffs. It's a story of fighting against odds, of rewriting narratives that have for too long been dictated by external forces. Of course, with every tremendous opportunity come risks and questions. How will this influx of Chinese investment affect local industries in the long run? Will Burkina Faso be able to negotiate terms that protect its sovereignty and encourage sustainable growth? These are critical concerns that deserve attention and thoughtful dialogue. But for now, the sense of optimism is palpable. To put things into perspective, consider the sheer scale of a $2.1 billion deal in a country like Burkina Faso, where annual GDP is significantly smaller. This kind of capital can transform economies by funding everything from highways to hospitals, schools to tech centers. And it's not just about money flowing in, it's about creating jobs, fostering innovation, and integrating into global economic networks in new and exciting ways. What makes this moment even more remarkable is that it comes on the heels of what seemed like a potential setback. The US tariff could have stifled growth and diminished prospects. Instead, it acted as a catalyst for Burkina Faso to diversify its relationships and seek new avenues for prosperity. In many ways, this deal is a lesson in strategic resilience. How adversity can spark creativity and open unexpected doors. It also shines a light on the evolving nature of international trade and diplomacy in the 21st century. Countries like Burkina Faso are no longer on the sidelines. They are active players using their agency to shape their futures. And global powers are adjusting their approaches, recognizing that partnerships need to be respectful and mutually beneficial. The era of one-sided trade deals and exploitative agreements is slowly giving way to more balanced, though still complex interactions. For the shea industry in particular, this could be transformational. As demand for shea butter grows worldwide, especially in cosmetics and food products, having a stable, Tariff-free Channel 2 markets could spur innovations in production, quality control, and branding. Local producers could gain a stronger voice and more bargaining power. Changing the socioeconomic dynamics within their communities, we should also appreciate the human stories here. Behind every statistic about trade or GDP are mothers, fathers, children, and workers whose lives are impacted by these large-scale economic shifts. When governments make deals like this, the hope is that the benefits trickle down not just to the elites or urban centers, but to rural areas where much of the raw material originates. Traoré's deal with China could also inspire other African nations facing similar challenges. It signals that there are alternative routes to development beyond traditional Western-dominated models. Countries can explore multiple partnerships, leverage competition among global powers, and prioritize their own developmental agendas. This could lead to a healthier, more diverse economic ecosystem across the continent. In all this excitement, it's important to stay grounded. Success won't come overnight, and there will be hurdles ahead. Infrastructure projects need time to complete, partnerships to solidify, and policies to ensure equity and environmental care. Yet the momentum is undeniable, and the possibilities are wide open at its heart. This story is about hope and determination. It's about a country refusing to be boxed in by external pressures and choosing to chart its own course. It's about harnessing international relationships to build something stronger and more inclusive. And it's about the people of Burkina Faso, whose ambitions and hard work continue to drive their nation forward.